Hi-oh, beefer! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Critscast. We have a bumper for you today. This is week 4 of Season 34 Highlander in the European Team Fortress 2 League. Joining me today, I've got Dave on the analysis and I've got ArchRhythm on production.
inVision on one side and Bad Dragons on the other. If Bad Dragons win tonight, they guarantee themselves a playoff spot because of their superior head-to-head record.
Yeah, Bad Dragons currently sitting third on the table. They've got 10 points to their name. inVision, second place last season, missed out to SDCK.
inVision, they really need to win today to have any chance of getting into the playoffs.
Just witnessed a heavy fist fight, and it looks like it goes the way of Bad Dragons, and they're going to be attacking first, should be rolling out soon enough here.
Today we've got CP Steel, which is it's always one of these maps that it kind of puts it really up in the air. So, any slip up from these teams is likely to be punished. You see the strength of both of these rosters. At the very highest level, we see often super quick times, like 5 minutes or below on CP Steel. So we're probably going to see a lot of high octane action, and it's really just going to come down to execution.
As it does look like we're going to be rolling out soon enough. So if we just go over the rosters quickly, Dave. On the side of Bad Dragons today, we've got Lightclaw on the Scout, Boshy Soldier, we've got Fridge on the Pyro Man, Demo Man is Quarky, Walker is on Heavy again, Citrus Engineer, Atom Medic, Cloudy Sniper, and Yucca is finally on the Spy class.
Yep, and for inVision, we have Thomas on Scout, Duo on Soldier, DQZ on Pyro, Mac is the Demo Man, Tercio the Heavy, Asix on Engineer, Zeo on Medic, Stingen on Sniper, and Swipes on Spy. The big change up here is, of course, we got no Struno tonight, so none of those crazy reflects we see, but DQZ has proven himself on Pyro before, particularly, I think, in the Nations Cup he was very impressive, I remember, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, sort of going to be relying very heavily on him. It's very sort of Pyro-dominated map to deny that spam. You can do a lot of work for your team. So, looks like we're seeing sort of a pretty standard setup here from inVision. They're obviously not committing too hard to B. So, as these map teams sort of roll out, we'll see how it unfolds.
Yeah, for people not familiar with Steel, who've only maybe played it in pubs and not seen top level, teams almost never contest A, just because you leave yourself so much open to like a back cap through B. So because A is such kind of a bad position for the defensive team, it's not even going to be contested, and you don't even see a single player for Red contesting it. Not even really setting up players in White Room. So I don't know who they're going to looking forward to get a little bit of intel, but we're seeing them kind of move into White Room already, it looks like.
Yeah, so Swipes did actually get caught out on the first point there, and he's watching deep here. He's just trying to get a bit of intel on Bad Dragons as they do sort of mope their way into this White Room. They've committed their whole combo through, looking to sort of make their mark on E. Try and bait the inVision players back from that B point, and Quark has got there very early and he shut it off, but there is pressure from Stinghang on that door, and Stinghang goes down straight away to that sticky trap. inVision now have managed to rotate to this back area, but Captime's still looking pretty healthy on the side of Bad Dragons. As sort of just a bit of a melee with the flanks, and the combo actually rotates down there. Walker's in the drop down, they're moving forward, Fridge is so far forward, the Ubers come out of Bad Dragons, and no exchange yet from inVision. They sit on a full Uber advantage. They've still got the heavy up top, but Dercio goes down to TS. That's really critical having that heavy up there in these B points.
They're going to open up a lot of space up top now, and it's really going to be down to inVision whether they really want to contest. As soon as that sniper gets up there, Zeo's in under all kinds of threat. They're actually coming in with the Uber aggressively, but there's not really very much to kill. They pick up a couple. I think Bad Dragons will be very happy with that, and they're going to have almost 50% Uber advantage.
Yeah, Bad Dragons there. The best they could have hoped for was to make Cloudy some room, but he just got picked off really early. They commit so many players forward, and then they just sort of convert too many, don't get any frags on inVision, and they're looking to just sort of recontest this again with their spawners, and Tercio has again reset to this upper position that's so favourable. That's really going to deny a lot of Bad Dragons ground as they try and dry this. They're 5% away from Uber. Walker's trying to take the HVH with Fridge charging him down as well. Tercio does have to commit onto the low ground. Bad Dragons have full control of this upper area now, and they're going to look to just sort of press the thumb on inVision, but DQZ is down. There's a lot of denial, and the Uber's actually out. inVision don't have Uber just yet. They're running away. Oh, but it's just a bit of a melee here.
Yeah, the Uber came in, but Quarky got dropped. I think it was like melted by the Wrangled Sentry Gun just before he got onto Zeo. If he'd got a little bit of a flash, they would have completely changed. But this is now looking really strong for inVision. They're completely held. They don't have teleport up top, but they do have control up there with now Duo.
Oh, but he is being contested by Cloudy here, and his team again, inVision, holding so close here. They're really looking to sort of pressure Bad Dragons out there, force them to sort of shape up their game plan as they're sort of just ticking the Uber up. They're 30% away as it stands, and Mac going down, that's really critical for busting through that corner, but so long as DQC's up, there's a lot of denial, and with Duo sort of holding the fort in this upper area as well, it is not looking too favourable for Bad Dragons here as they coordinate a push up. Boshi has managed to sort of sway Duo away there, and they are taking this ground, but they really have got to be sort of concentrated about how they try and disassemble this inVision defenses. They're all flooding in, they all pile forward. TS is in. Big spam from Quark. It does manage to force inVision out. They do have to back out through the C area and sort of give up that B to Bad Dragons, Dave.
Yeah, Mac goes down as well. Everyone else managed to leave, and Tercio's now kind of committing. They're committing really with the Uber here, but it looks really favourable for Bad Dragon. If Tercio goes down here, they're going to have really very little to even contest. B-Cap goes down, Bad Dragon's going to be looking to rush through this connector with kind of no Demo Man, no heavy, only really the Pyro to deny them.
Yeah, nothing to sponge that heavy weapons in. Stinghand going down to the Huntsman of Cloudy as well. Tomas picked off also, so it's just the Pyro Soldier Medic on the side of inVision on their C point. So Bad Dragons, they've got control of this Beck area, not without pressure from Duo as he tries to pick off Cloudy. They're quite contented just sitting there, just tolling through the spam. They're just picking inVision's player off. They're applying a bit of pressure to E, forcing inVision to sort of make a decision here as they sort of make up their game plan. But Swipe's going down. ASIC still down also. It's really not looking good for inVision on this defense here as they're just bleeding so many.
Yeah, they're trying to recontest now a little bit. Mac is really quite deep with Zia. They could maybe get caught out from top. There's no one really stopping. Oh, that's a big play.
Yeah, Duo did a really good job. He just managed to get behind through that BC connector, got behind and managed to convert that frag. That's really huge getting Atom down there. So inVision, they've got good control. They've managed to push Mac forward with their Uber advantage. They've managed to trap it off, and now they've got a full ad. And Bad Dragons, they're sort of on the back foot here. They've got decent cap time on E, but no position with which to capitalise on it. It's a big bomb forward from Duo. Attempts to shut down the Bad Dragons players. They're sort of teasing this BC door, but they choose to rotate back round through Beck here. And Mac walks forward, gets Cloudy. The Uber's out of inVision. They're charging forward, but really good denial there from Fridge. Does see them manage to convert just that one frag, and Lightclaw going down to Swipe to the end there.
Excellent position there from Fridge to deny the Uber. They've now got quite a large advantage, but the kind of walkers maybe looking to go in from top, or are they going to walk through? They're going to have to deal with probably a sticky trap, I imagine, and the Pyro to deny, so maybe they probably need pressure from top at the same time. They're just kind of dawdling a little bit. There's a trap above. Just about gets through the trap. The Medic as well. Oh! They're really playing with fire now, but they've still just about held on to that Uber advantage. Quarky just baiting a little bit. They're not really sure what to do, but they are getting good cap time on E.
Yeah, they've got that gun up in the Beck connector as well, with inVision sort of half committed to C still. They do eventually choose to back around, but that cap time's looking pretty devastating for Bad Dragons. inVision can deny this ground, but so many frags coming up. Bushry and Fridge going down to Mac, and Lightclaw as well to Tomas. DQZ does actually get picked off by Cloudy there, so that's a bit of denial down for inVision there, and it's just a bit of a melee here. It's a bit messy. Bad Dragons really need to reset. inVision sitting on a full advantage. They've got control of this C point with that really good cap time from their flank, but at the moment it doesn't look like they're really in position to capitalise off that.
It was looking really good for Bad Dragons for a minute. They had so much cap time on E, but Stinger just peeks out of that spawn door. No soldier in heaven to deny it, and he snipes at him, and they managed to cover the E point. The saving grace for Bad Dragons is that cap time on E forced the rotate out of inVision. So now they've managed to get C capped, but 6 minutes 30 is already kind of a slow time for Steel, and they've got these last 2 points to deal with.
Yeah, it's certainly not the position you want to be in. 6 minutes 30, so it's certainly not it's certainly beatable by any stretch, but we see an Uber exchange in this lower area. The scout charges forward. They pick off so many. Boshi and Cloudy down. Tomas doing a really good job sweeping up there, but inVision down a lot of numbers, and Bad Dragons start to take the position with a drop from Swipes onto Atom. Zio being exchanged for Quark as well, and Stingham picked off in that spawn door. Really good work there from Bad Dragons, just shutting down those inVision players, do put them in a really good position, but Tomas commits in, gets Quark and Fridge. He might have just recovered that for his team. They're sitting in some pretty chunky spawn waves, and they're going to look to commit into E as soon as they can, but Bad Dragons definitely going to be able to reassemble soon enough.
It's absolute chaos, but inVision just about having the better of it. For some reason they ended up like in this kind of basement area with their Uber just chasing a heavy, And they got absolutely sandwiched, but Swipes comes in the last minute, saves the day, drops the medic when they had the full Uber, and now they're starting to get capped on, but they don't really have full control right now.
Yeah, Bad Dragons, they commit in that White Room area. They managed to pick off Mac and Tercio. Mac there managed to rack up a 30-second spawn, which is so punishing on these last holds. And with cap time ticking down for Bad Dragons, just 3 players up from inVision. Tomaz is doing his best, and Dwo's there as well, so they're going to apply a bit of pressure, but with Bridge there, I can't imagine too much. And the really chunky spawn was there from inVision. I can't see it going any other way.
Yeah, last second decloak on the point, very cheeky, but they just about got enough cap time. 8 minutes 10, that is quite slow for Premiership, but we're going to see kind of if inVision are going to be able to do the same kind of thing. They look a little bit stronger right now, they just kind of dominate, they're kind of living for the chaos and kind of dominating in the DM, and just occasionally a little bit ponderous from Bad Dragon, particularly their combo. They're not exactly sure what to move, how to move, where to go, and yeah, it seems like inVision just about have the edge.
Yeah, that B-hold from inVision was really punishing. It looked pretty favourable for Bad Dragons in a couple instances, but it's just sort of flipped the switch and managed to work it in their favour. And Bad Dragons, credit to them, they did a pretty good job there, managing to convert from C to E in, I believe, 1 minute 40 there. So should be seeing a pretty similar setup out of Bad Dragons as they sit on this defense. 8 minutes 10. Solid holds on each of the points is certainly doable, but it can be a bit of a tall order here.
We're seeing some crit stickies here from Quarky, but they're all kind of on one spot. I think it's much more difficult to deal with these crit stickies if they're it's kind of separated into different batches in White Room. But he's going to go for this kind of one massive load that's hopefully going to nuke the whole team.
Yeah, of course, very heavily dependent on inVision choosing to push from that A door straight into E on this first point. And they have stacked a lot of numbers there, but it could be a bait out to fake out as they might choose instead to rotate to this B point. But nothing too interesting going along at the minute. Of course, as we mentioned before, very little contest expected on this A point from the defending side at the start. And TS is up. He's been a bit of a CCTV camera for his team. And yeah, again, no pressure here just yet.
Yeah, nothing really happening. They're just moving through. Stick is diffused, it looks like, or maybe they're dead on nothing. Taking it nice and clean. They actually take out both Cloudy and Lightlord, but that's a lot of kind of denial and information that they can potentially have on this E point. The Pyro is in position there, so that is kind of good for Bad Dragon. They are nicely in position. It's really up to inVision what they're opting to do. It looks like they're opting to go drop down.
Yeah, I mean, that exactly as predicted. You know, they were just baiting that E push, and then they just go straight through drop down. They did a pretty good job committing there, but the Uber so early, and they're getting completely denied by Bridges. No players forward from Bad Dragons at all. They're not going to be able to convert any frags off of this. They've got that sentry gun as insurance, so their medic does actually survive that exchange for now, but pretty good cap time as well out of inVision. Tomaz doing a big job, and Dwo is holding that spawn door so well. Nobody from Bad Dragons yet has decided to rotate back, and the cap is getting really close here with ×2. On this point, I believe it's a 47-second cap, but a good headshot there from Cloudy. Does see Tomaz go down, and Dwo going down to TS is so critical as they got sort of 2/3 of that cap time. But that was, you know, distraction enough for inVision to take this B point.
It looked really smart. Like, they obviously got information really early that they were going drop. Fridge got into the perfect position for the Uber trade, but inVision just about managed to sneak out, and while they're doing that, they got a ton of cap downtime on E. Tercio even managed to get through the BC connector and got a frag in the backline, so there's no way they could then contest the B point. So inVision making good time so far.
Yeah, so inVision really good. They're trying to sort of roll with this momentum. They have got a 20% Uber ad right now. Mac is going very close. We should expect an exchange soon enough, but Boshy's actually hiding under this grey area, just waiting to pounce on inVision as they sort of bust through this C area. But again, Dwo is on this cap. Mac has trapped off that spawn door. It looks like they're not even interested in C anymore. They just want that E cap, and very little resistance so far from Bad Dragons. They have moved pretty aggressively into this Beck area, and the Uber actually does come out. Pushing around this corner, exchange does come from Bad Dragons. Cap time's really good. They've not been able to convert any frags off it so far. Ooh, but cap time really close. Tomaz doing such an excellent job, just full committing for it every time. DQZ all reflects the pipe into Boshy and Bridge in that Beck area. That's so huge from them. Bad Dragons just 2 players up, and it slipped out of their hands. It's going to be a cap to inVision, Dave.
DQZ is so weak on the point, but they just about there was a gun going up in the dungeon area, but DQZ just about snuck in with 15 HP. Crucial reflect, as we saw, and really good play. inVision take the first round.
They've actually netted themselves a guaranteed 2 points from this official inVision now as we roll into the second half. If Bad Dragons take this second map, it will go to a golden cap and they'll both have a chance to sort of grab those 4th points as we do see the ready up here.
Yeah, I think what we're going to probably see is that Bad Dragons are going to have to work out, do they actually want to commit to the C ult this time? Because it's all very good having, you know, a good setup on C, but if inVision aren't even interested in capping it and just want to cap the E point, it really, you know, puts pressure on Bad Dragons to kind of take that kind of unfavourable trade. So maybe they'll change it up, maybe they won't even go C, maybe they'll go like E straight away once they lose the B point.
Yeah, so inVision they've set some mighty goalposts on that offense. So going to look to replicate that success here. Of course, much more favourable sort of defending first because you know exactly what you have to work with on the attack. So should be seeing, I can imagine, a pretty similar setup from inVision. It's only worked for them last time, and the coordination difference was just blistering there. As we should see the rollout soon enough. They have got a level 3 up inVision in this B door area, so sort of just looking to apply a bit of pressure right from the start.
We actually saw the pub stickies there, but just not quite in time to seem to know where they were. Didn't die to them, so it means there's not really going to be any stickies or anything in White Room. Perhaps like maybe the sniper rotating will be the biggest threat to them. We saw inVision, even though they didn't bait particularly well with the drop down push, it's really the cap time that they had to worry about.
They're going straight drop down here seemingly, or are they perhaps baiting for their sniper as he actually drops down here against Quark? That's a really good pick, but Stinghand is going to die for it, perhaps sort of an inconsequential. Oh, he gets Atom as well! Oh my god, that is exactly what he wanted. That was a huge play from Stinghand, but Fridge goes in for the return, gets picked off by Max straight away. That is an insane entry there from Stinghand as Yuba comes forward. Gun is down. Joe does get picked off by Cloudy in the post, but the only player remaining from Bad Dragons here is Walker in that upper area, but he shan't stand for too long, and that was really, really insane momentum there off of a huge play from Stinghand. That was insane, Dave.
That was crazy. And I know playing as a medic on this map that, you know, you always hate seeing that sniper potentially go and drop down. It's always in the back of your mind. But you think once your demo man dies to it, that someone is going to clean them up. But Stinghand stayed there for an aid. He's obviously got that big health back there. And the fact he picked up both of the 2 crucial classes is what opened that B point up for them. And now they're looking to push into this connect. They've got some good damage, but they haven't really got the space they require just yet.
Yeah, inVision, they sort of attempted to bust through there without their Uber charge, but some really good spam from Quark did see them sort of not quite reap the reward, but they have got they've got their level 3 up. That's going to do a really good job. That's going to serve them well when they do eventually choose to apply pressure to this E cap. But it looks like they're just sort of waiting for the Uber charge to be waiting for their spawners. Mac and Tercio are still down for inVision, so sort of quite contented with waiting for them. And Bad Dragons looks like they actually want to take the aggression into them instead as they're trying to get this gun down. Sap comes out and the follow-up as well. Asox and his gun down. That's so many frags. Oh, Mac comes through the teleporter, but he's committed straight into, and they managed to convert 4 frags just off the back of that, and they didn't even need to touch the Uber charge, Bad Dragons.
This is a great change-up by Bad Dragons. You could see that they lost the previous round because of how much space they gave up in connector. They allowed inVision, you know, the whole connector for free and just sat on C. This time they're playing much more aggressive in connector, and because inVision can't even get into the connector, they can't really get any kind of substantial cap time on E either. So really impressive so far from Bad Dragon, but we do see Fridge go down.
Yeah, Stinghand gets a really crucial pick there, and Walker and Boshi really aggressive in this BC area, not without return from Mac. They haven't got their heals with them, so they can't hard hold it, but what they're doing here is they're really slowing inVision down. They're forcing them to sort of think on their feet. They're being sort of really fluid as a combo. It's serving them well, and Mac actually commits in there, does get the force out of Atom, but he's just shooting pipes at a wrangled gun. Citrus actually does get picked off there, so the gun shan't survive much longer, but a much more favourable Uber out of Bad Dragons does see them maintain the point. Not too many deaths out of either team. Dwo is in this under area, so looking to try and kill Quark in the post, but there is a bit of cap time pressure as well. We've got the sentry up in heaven from inVision. They've got Tomaz on the cap once again. Dwo's jumping all over them, and Boshi actually gets Mac off as well.
That was crazy. Boshi went in against Zeo, hit him with 1 rocket, but wasn't able to clean it up, with Mac really putting his life on the line to body block that last rocket, and the medic survives. They do get some good cap time now, so it's a lot of pressure on Bad Dragons. They're down a lot of players, but they do just about still have control of Connector.
Yeah, Swipes there manages to pick up 2 frags onto Walker and Atom, sorry. And so many numbers down the flanks, just running absolutely amok over Bad Dragons. They've got such good cap time. Max locked off this upper area. Quark sort of trying to salvage, doing what he can, but he's receiving such resistance from inVision. They've got just times on the cap, but with 11 second spawns from the bulk of Bad Dragons. Oh, actually, Zio drops to the Huntsville of Cloudy. It may be a too little too late, but Bad Dragons actually do have a bit of a chance here, but they need to shut down DQZ. He's been on that point for sort of 10 seconds now. Cloudy going down as well, the flanks commit on, and this should be round here, Dave.
DQZ much more like MVP, I think. He's been really impressive with the cap time he's been putting on. Again, you know, 4 minutes 17, that is a good time on steel. It's not unbeatable, but a really strong time. It really came down to, they just got a few frags and DQZ got a lot of cap time. There wasn't even Thomas on the point for that long. You usually expect to see, you know, the scout, perhaps the pain trained soldier, on the point. It's really been DQZ getting a lot of that crucial cap time when the players have been down for Bad Dragons.
Yeah, he's been putting his life on the line. He's been putting in a good shift for his team, and he's been really well supported by Duo as well. Every time there was any sort of contention, Duo was just bombing up from under, converting the frags, and 4 minutes 20 to push for inVision. For Bad Dragons. It's doable, but it just looks like they're being sort of outclassed, being out-coordinated, and it could be a bit of a tall order, but certainly not out of the question.
I think it's also now a big mind game of, like, the time is so quick, they're really under pressure that they might, like, be forced into an AE push now. Obviously, it is possible to get under this time doing, you know, ABE or even the full alphabet push, but really you can't mess up. So perhaps they'll just look to go for a straight AE. They'll have to execute it perfectly though.
Yeah, certainly. So of course, when you're working with this sort of cap time and you see the attacking team going for that AE, you know they're just going to full commit for it for the entire game, because they just don't have the time to play about. They don't have the time to rotate. They don't have the time to get the other points, and ultimately that's where it slips. So inVision set up a pretty decent stronghold here, just Woe and Swipes in White Room from them. So we'll have to see what Bad Dragons approach is here, whether they want to take the B cap or attempt to sort of do a sweep against inVision, as they are sort of barreling through, but not without resistance. Duo's taking good round here as well. He's sort of applying a bit of pressure in this White Room, and it looks like Bad Dragons looking to commit deep into Beck, as Quark is in position, but DQZ again, he's done such an excellent job of rotating, and his team is put in a really good position to defend this as well. Cap time sort of rolling out gradually, and the gun up is in heaven, but Duo bombs and gets Citrus. That's so crucial. We all know how important that gun is there.
Duo really smart. I think they perhaps forgot about him a little. They did see him in the connector, just spamming a little bit. They didn't realise quite where he got, with him taking out the sentry gun, and I think probably the teleporter as well. It's really under the caution for Bad Dragons. They're deciding to go B now, in fact.
Oh, they do actually Uber in. It's really not looking good for the Bad Dragons, as they're unable to convert any frags and not even really any damage, but DQZ commits back in, takes a bit of heat, but 4 players down from inVision. It does look like they're going to have to give this up, because as we said, as soon as you give up that upper area, B is basically over for you. The favourable spawn waves of Bad Dragons on the attacking side is just never going to work in your favour if you're inVision here. So they're just looking to take these easy points. 2 minutes 30 on the clock to cap E for Bad Dragons here, so inVision just sort of exchanging spam in this back corridor for now.
Yeah, you could see Quarky realised like how much the time was up, and he had to he went alone into that connector, just a little bit overeager. The rest of the team wasn't with him, and he gets caught out. Now they're really having to wait for these kind of crucial respawns for Bad Dragons, and it's just kind of ticked down another 30 seconds that they can't really afford.
Yeah, so Atom sitting on 100%, as is Zio. So inVision again, they're just holding so close in this back. They know all this is about right now. 1 minute 50 on the clock. That E takes, I believe, about 40 seconds with the ×3 cap, so they're just looking to delay. That's what this is all about. If they can sway them off that E point for another minute, the game is basically theirs. If they can just apply an inch of pressure as they do actually take the Uber trade. Oh, DQZ falls victim to the pit, and Boshi and Quarky taking really good position. Actually, they got times on the cap, and no return from inVision other than swipes in the spawn area. They actually managed to lose 6 there. That's a complete melee. Quark and TS absolutely running amok all over them. This actually could go the way of Bad Dragons if they manage to convert these frags. Just 3 up from inVision. Really huge spawn waves. We could be seeing the reverse sweep out of Bad Dragons. They've got no pressure from inVision yet. It's just Swipes. He's going to try and barrel in, but again, like for Mboshi, just...
Wow.
Wow, that is not what we anticipated there. We go to a third map, Dave.
That was insane. The trade looked so bad for Bad Dragons. They came in super early, just popped on the demo man. They were able to milk for ages on inVision, and they just went forward with DQZ. But just at the very kind of end of the Uber, as the Uber was fading for blue team, Fridge comes in with a crucial air blast.
Both teams guaranteed 2 points from the official, as we say. So, winner of this next map will take 4. Loser takes home just the 2 they've earned so far.
You know, as we said before the game, if Bad Dragons do win this now deciding round, they will qualify for playoffs, and inVision will be out, and obviously V3 as well will no longer be in contention. They're really taking their time.
They are.
I'm not sure they've even worked out who's playing which side at the moment.
So hopefully should be seeing it ready up soon enough. We're going. They've settled their differences and we're rolling into map 3. Both teams have taken a map. This is Steel Week 3, Season 23 Highlander. Bad Dragons versus inVision. Defending first is inVision. Attacking is Bad Dragons. Bad Dragons put in a very convincing shift last time on there when they attacked second. So looking to replicate that success in inVision, looking not to sort of allow their in once again and shut off that E point, get the cap down and let the map slip out of their hands once again.
Yeah, we have had a decent break now, so big mental reset now for both teams. Bad Dragons, as I want to reiterate for the nth time, if they win this, they qualify for the playoffs, so this is really big now for them. But inVision, you know, they've been here before, they know what they need to do. They've looked really good in the first 2 rounds, or 95% of it, so they just need to execute as we were seeing, and just, you know, as long as that one kind of crucial slip doesn't occur, they do look super strong.
Yeah, if inVision know what they need to do involves slowing the game down, they've certainly done that one to death as they sort of, Bad Dragons leave the spawn as we anticipate. They do pile all of their players into this A area, of course, trying to sort of throw off inVision and induce sort of a bit of anxiety into them. Are they going to push E? Are they going to push B? But no fights exchanged so far, and Swipes just playing for intel for his team right now.
Yep, it looks like they go super early, looking to go into the drop down. There's all kinds of players. The sap does come in. They're so far back there inVision, they didn't have any knowledge of it at all. The Uber comes in, but Bad Dragons don't even have to use the Uber. That's crazy.
Yeah, inVision, they really sort of slipped up there. They took no news as bad news and assumed that they were coming in behind them, and they just weren't. They were sort of halfway committed into Beck. Bad Dragons come in, they get the sap on the gun, they sort of completely dismantle the Bad Dragons, inVision's push, and that was really disastrous from them. In Bad Dragons now, they've got that high ground control, they're sort of just exchanging spam this Beck area, and they just completely bully the inVision players out. inVision now 50% dishad there, looking a bit sorry for themselves. Mac looking for some sort of return, and Zeo and Mac go down to TS.
Oh, Yucca, big
that's
play.
insane from him. That's
no
such
demo,
a big pick.
no medic. That is huge when they're pushing into this connector now. They already had advantage, but now there's not even going to be heals for inVision, and it's really down to Bad Dragons. Are they going to go for a dominating E cap, or are they going to just take it slow, get the C that's presented to them, and then go back to E later?
Yeah, just A-sucks on this C, so gonna get blown out pretty quickly, but nobody spotted the gun just yet. It's Fridge and Cloudy, not the best classes for destroying it, but looks like they managed to convert. So Bad Dragons, they don't even need to rush here. They've got full ad, they've got the C cap, they've got no pressure from inVision. They're just sort of just thinking about what to do next, as the flanks from inVision have actually taken this white room, which is really critical, sort of flipping between that D and E area, and they're looking for some sort of return, but Bad Dragons, they're rolling with the momentum right now as they're sort of committing through this Beck, looking to use their Uber.
Yeah, they still have that big Uber advantage. inVision are nicely set up in connector, but if Bad Dragons can get in and use this Uber advantage, no corridor.
Drops to Swipe. Wow, what a huge convert. 4 players down from Bad Dragons, really bad health. inVision have just managed a reverse sweep off the back exclusively as Swipes' backstab. And inVision again looking to be on the front foot. I mean, a 2-minute cap time for the first 3 points is looking pretty good for Bad Dragons, but that was disastrous.
That was crazy, crazy fine margins. That's, as a medic, the very, very last second, your last millisecond before he's going to pop that Uber, the spy comes in and gets him. And big, big drop. If they got that Uber, it could have been a complete wipe and easy E-cap, but the Uber does get forced, but no kind of position here for Bad Dragons.
Yeah.
White Room's still completely under control of inVision.
Yeah, it was a really good effort from Bad Dragons. They obviously had to get that Uber off, but again, just the pressure from the demo man in Mac is just not something you can contend with. They do get the Uber off, but Tomaz chases through, converts those couple frags, and Bad Dragons sitting pretty 40% advantage. They've got this gun up in the spec, so could this be the mark of a potential E-push here? They're certainly receiving a lot of pressure in return from inVision.
Mac is going super, super aggressive, but he's got no heal beam with him. The medic is a little bit scared of the sniper, presumably. He does go back into the White Room, but there are players still up top in heaven. I think Bad Dragons really need to focus on that. Now Boshi comes in. Can he get damage down? Oh, he serves into a really weird position, but doesn't get the frags required.
Yeah, that was a really, really good edge from Bad Dragons. Cloudy manages to hit the Huntsman headshot onto Zio. And now that's just opened up so much room for his team to push forward. They just convert the frags onto inVision and they're just flooding all over them. But Quark does go down to Asux in this heaven area. Flushed out by Fridge. There is a bit of cap time, but not quite the class you want from Bad Dragons there just yet. But again, really, really sort of chunky spawn waves from inVision as Lightclaw's just sort of running amok, but not without return from inVision here.
Oh, Atom and Fridge are stuck. But I don't think they're going to get pushed. Durcio gets either knocked down or drops down himself. Now they've got complete control of heaven in Bad Dragon's favour. And there's only 4 up for inVision. Tercio's, he gets a frag. But I don't think he's going to be able to get the medic. He's now kind of stuck there and he's going to be in a 23-second respawn. If they can get control of the spawn doors, this is going to look really good. But Mac is really, really weak in Connector, looking to contest.
Yeah, Bad Dragon seemingly as well. They've been to KZ practice. Nobody perished to that pit then. And Atom actually gets picked up by Tovas' guillotine there. But again, like just in all of these team fights, inVision are losing so many numbers, and as I say, Mac does actually suffer to the pit. But inVision, they're losing so many players in these team fights. They're suffering real victim to these spawn waves, and it's just allowing Bad Dragons to just stack this cap and just keep rolling the cap time up. With 2 players left, Tertia being one of them, they're just going to get out spammed, and that is a pretty convincing time for Bad Dragons. Though it took them 2 minutes for 3 caps there, Dave.
Yeah, 5:08. That's a probably an average time at this kind of very, very highest level. It's really kind of chaos for a lot of it. Obviously that drop was huge in the White Room area, but yeah, Bad Dragons, they persevered. They got the players that they needed, and they've ended up with a pretty respectable time. inVision, they looked good in the chaos, but when you're losing that many players, you really need to keep your medical up, and they didn't quite manage to do that. Vaccinator came out at the last second, but the Vaccinator doesn't do anything if there's 5 players all with different damage types on that point.
Yeah, it's certainly not a long-term solution, and this is all about converting that time down, sort of running it out. But the buff, the buff nerf, if I may say, really does not sort of favour you for rolling through the punches on that last point, and ultimately, they suffered the demises. We do see inVision, on the offence now. They're rolling out. Going to see a pretty similar setup to last time. Again, just barreling everyone through this A point, trying to get that early cap, and then sort of playing it from there. They're obviously flushing out, trying to catch that spy, but Yaka's been playing very sensibly. He's not letting them try and find it because he's just in AE every single time.
Well, we haven't really seen a really long hold from Bad Dragons thus far, so even though 5 minutes is a good time, inVision have, I think, pushed it faster than that on both the rounds we've seen. So yeah, really it's really on for Bad Dragons. They need like some just really good solid defences on a couple of points, and that will be enough, because 5 minutes isn't super long, is it?
No, it's really not, and inVision do manage to pick off Yucca there. It's just cloudy there, so Bad Dragon's very low on intel as inVision are holding pretty aggro here. They've got the players exactly where they need to be to start denying this point. They've got the heavy walking around to heaven, but no sign of a gun just yet. They're just looking to sort of exchange spam, feel each other out, but with inVision's positioning here, I don't see them rotating in time. They're going to have to take a trade here, all things considered.
They are to go back into White Room now, probably through drop deck. We saw last time. TQZ gets picked off by the hunts, so no pyro for this Uber trade potentially. We saw last time they had the information.
Yeah, Tercio was so far away there, so it really just wasn't going to work. They were going to go drop down as Lightlord does commit in, gets Mac. Zio is on his own. This is disastrous. He gets the force off for free. Picked off in the end, but Lightfall just did huge work there. Perhaps a slight breakdown in communication from inVision there. They split off from Tercio. They didn't have it on with the combo, and it all just slipped from there.
The thing is, Tercio has gone in behind. They really fully gave up that connector when they heard the drop down plants, and now there's heals in this banana area, and it's going to be really difficult for them to contest. The only saving grace is they do have this Uber, and now all 9 spawns are coming in. So this is big. The Pyro Uber is going really deep in to see, can he get onto the medic? Zio is going to go down, I think. Oh, it's so low,
just burns out. That's unfortunate. Swipes tries to chase down Fridge, but to no return, and pretty decent cap time from inVision on E, but they've just not got the pause, they've not got the players, and ultimately it slips out of their hand. It does look like they're sort of trying to edge this B cap, but not without return from Bad Dragons. Just 2 players there in Asux and the Stingant do get cleaned up really quickly there by Quarkies. Bad Dragons, they really convert that well and get set up on B again, Dave.
Really looking good now for Bad Dragon, but this is CP Steel. It can turn around in the blink of an eye. They're in a really solid position, and it's down to inVision now. Do they want to go down to E? I don't think there's even a teleporter up. Heals and the Demo Man are in this E area, so they are going to have to look to get cap time straight away. But Bad Dragons are nicely in position in connectors. It's going to be difficult to get anything going, really.
Yeah, they know with 2 minutes left, the priority is all about this E-cap. You can't do the alphabet push with such little time remaining, and all of the cards seemingly in the hands of Bad Dragons. It's just a bit of a melee here, spam exchanging both sides of vision, holding towards this right room area, but without B-capped, and without C-cap, that door is still open, and the soldiers are just quite happy to reset there, but Fridge does get picked off, as is Dwo, and the Uber actually does come out of inVision. Oh, really good job there. Of course, Fridge going down does mean they can't deny anyone in that pit, but seemingly still going the way of Bad Dragons. They maintain a lot of their combo with Mac and Tercio going down from inVision, but not without return from DQZ in this area with his medic, but it's slipping out of inVision's hands here, Dave.
Yeah, Zio and DQZ are now stuck in a bad position. The Pyro went down, they saw that opportunity, but the trade didn't quite go well enough for them. And we're now down to a minute cap time, so they're going to really have to be stacking E. Thomas is on it, but there's still so many players in this connector area. B's completely irrelevant almost, it's only really a flank route now. And with the Pyro, the Heavy, and the Sentry Gun, there's no way they're going to get cap time on E, but Zio has managed to survive. And perhaps they're going to have to re-push now that Fridge is down.
Yeah, they've definitely got to do something as Dro does go down. Really good sort of pressure from Mac there. Tercio applying it as well. They do convert a lot of frags, but 52 seconds left. If you have times for on that cap, it takes you 34 seconds to get that. So even if Thomas and Dwo commit on it at the same time, solid, without pressure, it's still going to be a bit of a tall order, and nobody's on the point. 40 seconds left. It could be slipping here for inVision, Dave. But Bad Dragons, not too many up.
There's lots of frags, but they've only now just got the cap top. They're really unsure whether they want to lock down the spawn or lock down the connector, and Bad Dragons are re-pushing through the connector. That's really smart play. Bad Dragons look really strong, but it's suddenly 5x on the point. Now it's 0, now there's no one on the cap, and it's going down to the last 10 seconds. It's only just about possible. Matt goes down into the... It's gonna be Bad Dragons to take it. I think there's 5 seconds left and there's no one on the cap. The medic somehow gets air blasted onto, but it's not enough. Bad Dragons take it. Incredible.
That was really well played from them. They set up such a fortress in that back area. inVision, they got sort of really solid cap time because, as we know, a 1 HP player caps just as fast as a full HP player, and that seemed to really sort of be swinging their favour.
I mean, wow, that was crazy. They lost so many players in that connector, and suddenly it looked like inVision were gonna sneak it. But the re-push was really impressive from Bad Dragons. I can't stress enough how important that was. I think that means they're now qualified for the playoffs. Bad Dragons, really impressive for a first season. So well done to Bad Dragons.
But yeah, I think that's it from us here. We do have plenty more coverage over here at Chris Cast. You can check out our YouTube channel. Make sure, of course, you check out the merchandise store, Twitch Primers. You know what to do. Big thanks to Dave. Big thanks to ArchRhythm. We'll see you around, guys. Thank you.
Hi, old beaver! Away!